I've recently got into the genre of psychological horror, ranging from flawed classics like Rule of Rose all the way to the worst game I've ever played in my entire life, Clock Tower Ghost Head. Despite this, I have never played a single Resident Evil or Silent Hill game in my entire life. When I had a chat with one of my buddies about psychological horror, he lent me his copy of Silent Hill 2 and told me this was a game that I had to play if I enjoyed psychological horror, and he was right. Silent Hill 2 takes place in, where else? Silent Hill, Maine. You are James Sunderland, looking for your 3-year deceased wife Mary, who somehow called you over to the town by a letter. Once you enter the town of Silent Hill, you meet other characters who were called to the town for their own reasons, and learn so much more about yourself and others throughout the entire game. Where do I even begin with what I love about this game? The atmosphere is so good. The feeling of being trapped, learning about what really happened to your wife, and expanding the stories of the other characters. There are so many things here that really mess with you, especially if you have dealt with your own personal struggles and issues. The monsters in Silent Hill are direct connections to James and his struggles. I can honestly tell why this is the game that everyone goes to first when talking about peak horror. The only thing I don't like? Tank controls. I hate them in every game though. Clock Tower uses point and click, and that's why I really enjoy the first 2 games of that series. However, my dedication to wanting to pull through this whole game for my friend made me learn the controls, and by the end of the game, I realized that maybe I think too much about the control scheme instead of just playing, because by the end of the game I had mastered it and it was not a burden to me at all. This is what really turned me away from many other survival horror games, but now that I've overcome it, I will definitely have to play much more in the future. Silent Hill 2 is a game that everyone should experience, regardless of whether or not you're into the genre. It's a one-of-a-kind story with multiple endings and a few twists that will keep you locked in. I have not played the remake, of course, but I did hear that it is really good, but not as good as the original. Play this any way you can.